Hello. Hi, Internet. Welcome back. We're gonna get started. Let's do. Hi, Internet. My name is Todd, and I'm gonna be playing some Dungeons and Dragons today with a bunch of my friends online. Thank you for joining us. If you're joining us through live on YouTube or Twitch, right now we're playing Wednesdays starting around 9, hopefully 9. And then the rest of the time, you can also check us on replays. You can also check the audio podcast version, which is available on all the podcast places. So iTunes, Podbean, etc., etc. Spotify, bunches of places. So wherever you get your podcasts, you're welcome to join us there and catch up on our catalog. We got a couple of campaigns under our belt. And we also do Shadowrun. So if you like Dungeons and Dragons and you like Cyberpunk, well, imagine they had a bastard child. Yeah. And the child is angry. Yeah. And owned by corporations. Yeah. Too real. Anyway, so today we're going to be jumping around a little bit. We're going to be doing some Dungeons and Dragons. It's our homebrew campaign in the world of what we're calling, so far, the balance. Now, here's the catch. Names are up for grabs, so if you're watching us live, you can make suggestions, you can have input in the game. We'll call out for names if you get an idea for what is called a plot point. So you can message us in chat live, and we'll put it on the list, and we'll work it in as soon as we possibly can into the game. And that's how plot points work if you're watching live. Well, let's meet the table, and we'll dive in with all the rest of it later. So here we go! Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hi. Oh, wait, hold it. Got to turn your microphones on. There we go. Now try.
Hi. It's a good thing we were all quite silent for the first one.
Exactly. So it's a full... I'm going to yell at my tech support guy. I've got my PA over there. It's me. I'm doing this all by myself. I'm going to make up some mistakes. So anyway, so we're going to meet everybody at the table, and we're playing some Dungeons and Dragons. Everyone is currently level 2. I should have probably mentioned that to Tihmily. So sorry about that. She done got her butt kicked. I didn't mean to. Yeah, what was all that?
Oh, no. I think the character sheet just kept me automatically already at level 1, and then everybody was talking about level 2, and I was like, la-di-da-di-da.
You know what?
Need
You don't need your levels. I don't need no stinking levels. All right, so I guess we'll meet everybody. And we'll start with Tihmily because why not? So I have no idea what this button. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
That button do?
That's not it. There we go. Tihmily, welcome to the stream.
Hello. I'm glad to be back. Second week in the campaign, and I am going to be playing Hilda Bonebraid, who is a paladin and was a med school dropout. So, got stabbed by I forget who stabbed me last
double
time.
Hand axe guy. Double hand axe
guy. So, I'm pretty sure I'm not at 1 hit point right after some adjustments to my appropriate hit point level, but
hey.
Yes.
Hey. You're still alive.
I'm still in the game.
Nice. All right.
It's meat shield.
Let's keep going around now, and now more, 100% more shieldy. All right, just above you, at least on my screen, is Gordon. So Gordon, welcome back. Good to see you, man.
Thanks. Yay, glad to be back. Playing Rook, a rogue, and has an interesting backstory that I've kind of weaved into the campaign, and now I'm kind of in the gauntlet with my strange acquaintances, and
That's
we're
right. You
trying to win it.
Running the gauntlet. So what brings you to Bloodsport? Oh, apparent. Oh, the interweaves. Interweaves.
Interweaves. It just froze for a second.
Oh no.
Damn
Yeah.
winter time.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
But well, my character's here. He's kind of trying to solve a mystery and has been following up with the lead. And now he thinks that maybe winning the gauntlet will kind of help him get to his next step.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's keep going around the horn, and we will meet Carl. Carl.
Hey guys, so happy to be back.
It's live, Carl. We can see
It
things.
is live, Carl.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
live Carl has a functional living room. So, anyways, I won't bore you with the details. I am bringing to the table, however, Dave Tillman. Dave Tillman is our wonderful Tortle Twilight Cleric. He's just here for the ride right now. He's going with the flow. He's making new friends, learning new things. But he
Getting
does
punched
have
a
some
lot.
latent. Exactly, he does have some latent aggression. But right now, he's chill as fuck.
Nice. Absolutely. Well, welcome back to Carl's face. And that brings us round to Steve.
Hey, good to be continuously here. I just never left. All of you left, and I've been here the whole time.
You've heard of a 24-hour stream.
I
Well,
left.
Steve's been on for weeks.
I've just been waiting, and now you finally all showed up, and we can keep going. I do appreciate that Carl has the most Canadian shirt that,
Oh, definitely.
of any of us.
Yeah. Although I think you're experiencing the most Canadian temperatures right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, minus 40 something odd outside.
Woo! That is.
That's
yep.
in Celsius.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is
which
Celsius.
is, pretty much
Although
the
if it was
same.
minus 40 Fahrenheit, that would also be still bad.
Actually, they sync up at minus 34, so that tells you it's about
Yeah.
the same.
Exactly.
Wow.
Nobody wants that.
I'll
When you
be
have to
still-
start measuring in 2 digits of Kelvin, you've got issues.
Yeah, you'd be dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So enough about the weather.
Yeah, who are you playing?
Still playing, obviously, Gex Techford. Another rogue. The world's largest cat burglar.
Nice.
You know,
You know, I'm just
His-
realizing that
uh,
I'm only just now realizing the icon you chose could just look like you in badass armor. I just have to say that. It looks pretty cool. All
that's
right.
true.
And that's the table. And I, Todd, am going to be the DM. And we are going to dive into the game. We'll bring you a little bit more up to speed. But before that, let's get out of here. Here we go. Buckle up for some of our homebrew Dungeons and Dragons.
No, I mean, well, I don't know.
I got that delay as well, so.
I mean,
Welcome
Twitch is
back.
a delay from live, and then YouTube's a delay from Twitch. So Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of there's all kinds of delay. It's the interweaves. All right, so you find yourselves taking a sharp breath in. The air is acrid and burning your nostrils. You can just smell the radical particles and the smoke and just the singe of heat, especially Hilda, who was really quite close to the blast. Sprinkled around this Bloodsport arena buried deep beneath the city of Tazfarel. You are finding yourselves in this pit-riddled platform strewn battlefield. All around about 30 feet up, 30, 40 feet up, the audience is looking out over, cheering rapturously, just screaming. The richer people down towards the one end, you can tell by their clothes and the flickering firelight. And the flares of the explosions on the platforms below. You can see these massive statues that are also pillars holding up the roof. These winged, almost angels or possibly devils, looking down along with the audience. The walls themselves spiked with these ancient iron and black obsidian style sharpened spikes sticking out of the walls, limiting the mobility in people being able to climb out of this lowered pit. 4 central pillars hold aloft these massive chains and these burning, flickering fires that illuminate the entire platform below. There are massive pits stretching out across this battlefield, sometimes bridged in places by rickety wooden constructions that seem to shake and shudder at the merest touch. Just next to where Hilda is standing, the dwarven paladin, not Paladin, the dwarven paladin is standing there, is a rickety old construct of wood and tin and scrap metal that is this, 3-story tower kind of overlooking, kind of wedged in between 2 of these pits. Glancing around, you see the opposing teams. Just off to your pretty much due south and, like if you were facing south on the map, which is down on my map, you would see the one team which started there, one Goliath and another, what are you, Bard, are making their way across this rickety wooden platform towards you, just off to your left. The other 2 people locked in combat nearby. Behind you and to the right are the remains of the team that you pretty much decimated last round. One of their fallen companions being knelt over by this halfling cleric-looking person, wielding a hammer and holding this holy symbol aloft, and is starting to glow with a radiant light as he reaches out to try and help his fallen comrade. The large fur-bulg woman standing next to them, providing them some cover. Scattered throughout the battlegrounds, you'll also see these barrels and little platforms and little bits of debris scattered around. What you've only recently discovered is that some of those barrels anyway are filled with some kind of explosive. So when it was hit by a random firebolt, it went off, causing this massive explosion. On the opposite side, due south, you can see hustling along the far wall, like watching a hockey player, very Canadian D&D player right now, watching a hockey player on the opposing team with the puck running towards the towards the blue line on the far side, and they're getting away. You see Garrick and Harnissa and Turg. They're separated a little. Turg kind of lagging behind, the other 2 hustling to the far end of this death arena. At the far end, you look over and you see this massive spiked iron tree. It is constructed pretty much entirely of metal, although it's rusted and stained with splotches of blood. Well, what you can assume is blood and vitriol and bile, and it in some places pocked as though it was burned by some acid in a previous time. Sticking at the very top of this massive thorny iron tree glimmers a brilliant white light, the star in the darkness. It's coming from a small, almost impossible to see given the brightness of this object. About a little larger than a softball is this object at the top, emanating this brilliant white light. The artifact, the prize, the goal. The team that achieves that becomes the winner. Or the team that wipes out all the other teams. So, you find yourselves in this combat for money, not necessarily to the death, but certainly this is a place where many people probably have lost their lives. And you find yourselves there, trying to catch your breath. What do you want to do?
Do we know what's in the pits?
Sure. Tillman, you look down and gaze into the darkness. Do a perception check for me.
All right.
We know in
I'll-
one of the
I'll
pits
look
there's a
for it.
beast of some kind for sure.
I have an 8 for perception.
Nice. Oh, not going to see much with an 8, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but we saw the tentacle
You did.
last time.
So last time, during a practice round, one of the teams was just goofing. The team that was going to be your spot. And one of their members fell into the pit that is just south of you right now, a smaller of the pits. And the opposing Goliath and Bard are currently running across. You've seen a little bit of what's in there. This strange tentacled slime creature had grabbed on to whatever the twin that had fallen in and had tried to pull them in. Now his teammates came to his rescue and pulled him out, but not before most of his leg that was captured suffered the horrible caustic burns, putting him out of commission and opening a spot in the roster for this team.
The strange acquaintances.
Now, with an 11, Dave. Dave Tillman, you looked trying to see what's in there, man. And at the moment, you just see, if darkness could ripple, it just seems like there's about 10 or 15 feet down. You see a surface of dark, slightly shifting something. But that's all you see at the moment.
Dude, I'm tripping balls. I don't want to fall down there.
Gex, you turn as you hear Tillman say that, and you, with your 18, you see the Goliath charging towards you. Goliath on Goliath. And you see the Bard behind him let out a screech, augmented by his magic, doing something to the Goliath as it charges towards you, a massive axe hefted to strike you. He's about 15 feet away. You see, also with that 18, when that tentacle took the twin during that practice round, some of it must have struck this bridge because it's extremely damaged, almost directly at the right foot of where that Goliath is stepping in about 2 seconds. You see the
Can I roll perception too?
Sure, man.
So,
Everybody.
Everybody. All right.
Rules.
Okay.
okay. None of us can do ranged. Oh no, I can throw some.
Never mind.
So is it just for my knowledge of the bridge? Is it like basically two ropey strands with some wood in between it, like as planks?
It's actually got these. Some of them do, and they really are just wobbly. This one, it looks like the beam goes all the way across on the left. There is actually a wooden beam on the left side of where the Goliath is standing, but the right is almost worn all the way through, and it's held in places by rope. And that one section, it's pretty much chewed most of the way through by that caustic acid.
Caustic and acid are the opposite things. But anyway,
sorry.
I know what you're trying
You're right.
to say. Base acid.
Yeah, that's fair. Welcome to sessions.
You're up, Gex. We're top of the order.
Yep.
Like fire water.
Gex,
Well,
top of the order.
this is my question. In looking
Sure.
closely at the bridge, well, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna try to grab my end of the bridge and twist.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
They will go into the caustic acid.
Now, fortunately, you step
Water.
over the twisting, knotting vines and undergrowth that have sprung up from the ground by one of the druids that is trying to fight you as well. So, but you didn't get restrained, so you can move over no problem.
Okay. What do I have to do? Some kind of feat of strength?
This is going to be either athletics or just straight up strength.
Well, I think athletics would be better for me.
Let's see what happens.
You, 12? Could be worse.
Could be 11. Could be 10.
There are numbers lower than 12. Oh, okay.
The
So I
more
was
you
rolling with
know.
disadvantage, and it came up as a 15 on both. So unfortunately, you grab this and you start to lift, and that Goliath just stomps on the right side, thinking like he knows what you're doing, and he stomps on, putting his weight down, which is kind of preventing you from flipping it, unfortunately. And the bard behind, I am gonna, with all the wobbling, I am gonna make them do a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
Oh, the bard's like, yeah. He's just human, scruffy-looking dude. He looks like he's got this. He's trying his best to grow a fancy goatee, but it's terrible. And he's just holding this lute and standing on this rickety bridge, and he's like, "Yow!" All right. Do you want to do anything else? You still have a bonus and a bit more movement.
So I can't really try that anymore, eh? Oh man. Well, how they're gonna get to me on their
Yep.
next turn, I'm assuming. So I will just kind of like be at the end of the bridge and draw my saber.
Nice. All right.
Rapier. It's a rapier, actually.
Yep. So the
Very
rapier
biggy.
comes out, and dagger in the other hand, probably. All right. You
Yeah.
are ready, and waiting. Cool. Coming up next.
Oh,
Rook.
when you need a crowbar.
Yeah, while all this distraction is happening, I'm gonna use because I revealed myself to the other group when I took down the half-elf, I'm gonna use my bonus action to hide again in the shadows.
Nice.
Okay. And I'm probably gonna go just like one over here and just a little bit of movement. And let's see, rolling for stealth.
Be stealthy.
Apparently
Be
you're good because I
stealthy.
can't even see. Oh, there you are. I was like, where the heck is he?
You're so stealthy, you're invisible.
And I'm gonna
to me.
use my my ability, my knowledge from a past life to enhance that roll.
Absolutely.
So I have a 17.
Nice. All right.
Hmm.
You feel pretty confident that you're hidden.
Okay. Seeing
Good
what Gex was trying to do, I am going to take a look at the bard, and if he doesn't really notice me, I'm going to shoot the bard.
Do it.
Okay. I guess with advantage.
With advantage, that's correct. He does not appear
Okay.
to have noticed you.
Okay. So... First roll. $14.
14. That hits. It's a bard.
Oh, hey.
You're so-
Okay.
All right. Roll for damage.
9 damage.
Oh, nice. The bard's like,
Not bad. Not
yeah, got him. Oh, what did you hit him with again?
an arrow.
Oh, nice. It just sinks in just below his clavicle on one side, and his one arm kind of goes limp.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a good shot. All right. You can, yeah, I guess that's your turn. Coming up next, we are going to go over to the far side of the arena. When you guys have been busy, the other team has taking on both of these other teams. Garrick, Harnessa, and that team begin to make their run at the prize. 5, 10, 15, 20, and a leap. Let's see if he makes it. Garrick goes rushing across and just clears this little gap towards the final platform, a little gap where there's no bridge, and he leaps it no problem. Harnessa, oh yeah, she clears it as well. She actually starts to go a different way, around towards the center, and Garrick is in the very far corner right now, from where you are, almost. And Harnessa books it around and starts rushing towards the front edge, almost like a direct run at the net, as it were, whereas Garrick is flanking around. Meanwhile, Turg, the little halfling, the twisted, ugly, picture the old man and up on a bad day. He kind of slowly moves a little bit down towards the end, but his attention is on the team opposite that are busy trying to bring up their member and heal their member, and he's just standing, plants this oversized, like human-sized staff, and he calls out in this deep dirge, and this rolling sound kind of crashes over them, and the halfling on the far side that's busy healing his companion suddenly goes and starts clutching at his head, and takes a lot of damage as this distant sound of this toll of these bells just dinging in the darkness. You don't hear them directly, it's louder in his head, but you definitely can hear something going on over there. All right, and that, the little halfling is streaming blood out of his eyes, his ears, his nose, and his mouth, and you see a little, those of you with passive perception of over 15, you see a little bit of his tongue fall to the ground at his feet because he's chewed it. He's still barely up, though. Okay. Coming up next, Hilda.
Oof, alright. So...
There is the man who swung at you, dual hand axes, who came from the team with the Goliath. And he's standing in front of you with this kind of grin. Actually, he's just leapt past you, running away from the fire. So he's opposite of this tiny little crack in the pit, next to the pit. And you're kind of between him and the tower.
It nearly fell in.
Yeah, you almost did. He's kind of not facing you right now. He's looking towards Tillman at the moment.
When he... Because we were engaged and then he chose to run away, does that invoke an opportunity attack? Even?
I believe it would. I don't remember if you took it. So I'm going to say rule of cool, retroactively, you get it right now.
All right. What is that again?
You're gonna attack, and you don't have advantage or anything, but you are going to attack him.
Okay. So I just roll an attack roll?
Yeah, go for him.
Oh, okay. And I'll attack with... Get the wrong dice.
No worries.
I will attack with my battle axe. So let's roll. Okay, that is rolled an 8 plus 3.
You know what? His back is turned and he was badly singed. I'm gonna give you advantage on that because he's really looking away at the moment.
Oh, first I roll a d20. Okay.
Yeah. So so you'll roll it again and take the higher.
Oh, I was rolling just my attack dice.
Yeah. No, you want d20s.
Okay.
Oh, the video
They were
keeps
both
freezing.
not the greatest.
Only so much you can do.
Yeah, one was a 7, one was a 5.
All right. So you're having to stretch a lot, and you yourself are pretty singed from that fire. So your hair is a little bit like singed around the edges, and he is just out of reach, just by fluke. You thought you had him dead to rights, but he's just out of reach. All right. You still got to move? Oh, that was your reaction. So you still have your full turn.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Hmm. Let's see. I follow this
All right.
too.
So to clear
This
that gap, you're going to
duel.
need to do an athletics check as part of your movement.
Thank goodness. 5. Oh no, I was pretty badly.
Is that with your strength and your proficiency?
That is with my athletics is a bonus 3.
Oh, so
I
you
rolled a
had.
2.
Oh, oh no.
Oh
Okay,
no.
you really
Oh.
want to hit this guy, and you just go to leap, and you land right next to him. But what you didn't realize is that that whole section is just a little. It's an overcropping. Underneath is hollow, so as soon as your weight hits it, that section just caves in, and you're now like you go scrambling down. You sink your axe. Actually, I'm gonna let you decide. You can continue attacking him as you're about to fall, or you can try to like grab the side or get your axe. What do you want to do? You feel it giving, and you're like, oh shit.
I'm gonna do the cool thing. I'm gonna try still attack. Like,
Nice.
why not? We're already at this point.
Go big or go home. All right, you get your regular attack on him.
That's 18.
18 will definitely hit as your axe hits him. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Right. No. Okay, that was a 7 slashing motion.
Nice. All right. So he takes the hit as the axe just drags blade down his left leg as it just rakes him down, using your own body weight to go down. Unfortunately, though, you are now falling into the pit as you go past. I'm going to give you one last possible chance. This will be your bonus action to just figure something out on how to do. So either acrobatics or athletics check, please.
Okay, let's go with athletics check. Let's see if I am able to, using my superior dwarf strength, somehow kind of do like a kipping motion.
Nice.
To bring both my battle axe and warhammer up over an edge.
Absolutely. Okay, so go ahead
Yeah.
and roll whichever one you prefer.
It's a 20.
Oh, yeah, that's plenty.
21.
So, describe it. You managed to stop yourself. You're still in up to basically your shoulders, but how do you stop yourself?
So, with my axe still kind of slicing through the enemy, I use my hammer to like just use all the strength I have to like bring that dwarf on to my axe to keep myself steady. And we're
Nice.
basically teetering, both me and him, on this edge here.
I love it. So you get it into him, it rakes down his leg, and you take your hammer in and hit the back of it like you're splitting wood, and it just sinks in. It clips him as it goes by. I'm gonna give him an extra D4 damage just for fun, as you hit it, and it clips him as it goes by and just slips out and then sinks in past his foot, like is just next to his foot, and digs in pretty deep, giving you a good solid handhold. You've driven that in, and you're now dangling from it. Okay, that's your turn. Tillman, you're up.
All right, so I'm stuck in this web of things. I guess do I have to do a saving throw to get out?
Actually, nobody got caught in it. It's just the zone of entangled is still there. And so you're all surrounded by this greenery and the vines, these little blossoms popping up as it's falsely grown by the magic of the druids. One of the druids you're facing, and you're just in this little miniature garden. Now you are not restrained though. You are
Okay.
free to move, but
These
you are
three up
concentrating.
north.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concentrating.
I thought so. Yeah, you
I didn't cast a
cast
spell
something.
though.
Really? Then why do I have that on you? Huh. All right.
Well,
I forget why.
No, like you can. I just didn't mark it down as a slot, so
Oh, I thought you'd
it
cast
coulda happened.
something. I don't remember. It's okay, because whatever it is, it's gone
no,
now.
no,
Cast
you're-
a bless. You
no,
cast a
you're
bless.
right. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
If you
I'm
want to
marking it
drop
down
it,
one time.
you can drop it. Tillman tunes out
Well,
for a
I-
second.
I can still hold it and cast another spell.
You totally can.
So, the question I have is: these three up north, are they? They look rough.
The halfling
I don't-
flanked in between is leaking blood from every possible opening.
Okay. Yeah.
Turg just him up. And then the Furbolg woman she's hurt a little, but she's looking pretty solid still. The half-elf caster who caused the explosion earlier, she is down. It looks like she's breathing, like maybe the halfling did get the spell off, but she's definitely flat on her back. And then there's like a piratey looking chick, really tough looking human just behind that looks pretty much unhurt.
Okay, let's see. How far am I from that group? I am. Perfect. I will
Yeah, you're about 30 feet.
move here.
Yeah, wrong button.
And
Sorry. Sorry, interwebs. I have buttons.
my halberd has a 10-foot reach.
Nice.
So I am gonna attack the human there with my halberd.
Do it. So you go rushing up out of this beautiful garden. Make your attacks. Whoa!
Smoke billowing in the background, slow motion movement. No choice is a turtle, so.
Yes. You're pretty quick for a turtle. It's also, they are busy looking at their little halfling friend who's just hurting, and the halberd just with a 20. Go ahead and roll your damage, sir. That's a solid hit. A dirty 20, I should say. Oh! Oh! Quick question.
Ooh.
Yep.
You've definitely got them dead to rights. How bad do you want to get them?
So
me-
very badly.
I'll let you
Severe.
describe this. And if you want it to be lethal, it can be lethal. You could also turn it so it's not. So it's up to you.
I'm gonna do it non-lethal to the person, but knock them out, obviously. Like
Okay. So you
Flat
at
of
the
the
very
blade.
last second just twist the halberd around, and the blade just clocks them in the back of the head, just solid, like dead to rights. Both hands, it's just this full extension swing, and you hear that sickening hollow melon. Okay,
Nice work.
they are down.
yeah, that's the max damage that the halberd can do. By the way.
This episode sponsored by Tillman's Melon Pops.
And Turg the Turd.
All right, you do still have a bonus if you want it.
I don't think I have anything that. Let me just check here. Nope, we're not at that stage yet. So, nope, I don't do anything else.
No worries. You're just standing there and you watch her crumple like just boom, 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 over top of her other fallen friend. She is still alive, but boy, you do not envy her the headache she will have later. All right, coming up next. Okay, now it is the Fumble woman and the other group. So the Fumble woman looks at her two down members and the halfling just barely clinging to life. And she takes her large scimitar-like blade and looks at you, Tillman, and just her kind of bovine snout kind of huffing a little bit. And then she holds up the scimitar and just drops it with this clang at her feet and holds up both hands and turns towards the judges area, and the crowd just erupts in these fantastic cheers. And you even have like roses and empty snack wrappers and other things like that just start raining down on Tillman as people are like, yeah, and throwing it from the crowd. You get coppers just pinging off your shell, and maybe even some silvers as the people are just throwing this in, and popcorn and peanuts and stuff. Hope you're not allergic. All right.
He goes into hives.
The shell gets a little too tight.
You have to cut open the shell.
No.
So you are bathed in the glory of this death sport arena, and I don't know how you feel about that, but
I think I like this place.
that you feel this burning itch deep in your veins, just pulsing in rhythm with your heart for a second as the crowd roars, and you just, what do you do with that?
Just, start raising the halberd, just getting some cheers, like
Nice.
some
And
nice
every time you
rhythmic-
do it, the cheers get louder. You lower it down to get a little quieter. It's like you're conducting. Nice. All right, so that's one team officially out of competition, although not dead, but some of them look pretty wrecked. All right, coming up next, the Goliath and the other team directly south of you. Two of them are already engaged in battle. Krell and this half-elf or elven woman on the far side. They're not a concern. Dual hand axe is right in there next to Hilda, and the Goliath and the Bard. Let's start with the Goliath. The wooden platform just shudders under it, and you can see the board. It's like splitting under his foot, but it's not quite enough as the Goliath just throws himself forward into range with Gex, and he takes a swing.
I hope I can live up to the standards of.
Does a 16 hit your AC?
It does.
Okay. And he is wielding it dual-handed.
That is mean of him.
It is. He's slathering with spittle and just his eyes in a rage. That's going to be not too much damage, actually. That's going to be 6 slashing damage to you as the axe just clips you.
Ow.
He's big, but he's fairly fast. Okay.
Yeah.
And
don't
he's
get
now.
way to reduce this number.
Sorry, was that?
No, I don't get to reduce that number anyway. So used to
Unfortunately not.
rolling distances with Shadowrun.
Yeah, exactly. But that is his turn, and he is just on the edge of the cliff, of the pit, but he's not on the bridge anymore. I mean, technically he's on one end, but it's not over the pit anymore, and he's right up base to base with you. He's like, all right, that's his turn. Meanwhile, the bard behind him, balancing on this bouncing platform, turns and looks for who shot the arrow at him, and manages to spot Rook over in the corner, and he starts and he starts playing a song, and it just rises ever so slightly above the din of the crowd, but in your ears, Rook, it seems a little louder. I need you to do, I believe it is a wisdom save, but let me double check that. I think it's wisdom. Hold on. All right, it is. Where is it? I'm reading wisdom. Yep. Please do a wisdom saving throw.
wisdom, right?
Wisdom, yeah. I think we're having some interweebs issue tonight.
Oh no, the interweebs.
Internet? But you have all my favorite things.
How could you do this to us?
It has rolled
Nine.
unimpressively.
Total of 9 is not going to do it, sir. All right. So
Interweebs.
these virtual
Yeah.
dice, they are hurting. Oof.
We
Okay,
need
not-
some with some
It could have
heft.
been worse. It could have been much worse. As this dissonant song, dissonant whispers, begins to just echo through your mind, and you clutch at your head, and it's just this overwhelming urge. It's the worst possible of all pop songs ever, just
Oh, no.
echoing in your mind.
Friday, Friday.
Oh god, that might be the one. I was actually gonna say, internet, what song is it? The worst possible song is echoing
so I
in
take-
his mind.
I take 10 damage.
So you
Maybe
take
sure.
10 points of psychic damage. Are you still up?
Ouch. I'm still up. I was at full, so
All right.
But
you
that
are
hurt.
still. Yeah, that definitely hurts. All right, so you're still up. And because you failed the saving throw, you are going to spend your reaction right now to move as your entire movement rating away from him. So that's 6 squares, I believe, right? And it just, so you'll end up, you can choose where you go, but it can't be anywhere closer to him.
is the entangle down since the other team gave up?
It's as you run through it, it actually starts to fade in that moment. Like you step on it and it expecting these twisting, gripping roots, but instead it snaps and crumbles and turns almost to ash as you step through it. And you go rushing through, crunching over the old, now brittle vines and stuff. And you stop yourself just running away at the very last second, like maybe 5 feet from not even from the edge of another pit in the corner. You're just like, oh, you didn't have to go in the pit, but it got pretty close.
Okay.
All right. Oh, that's the one. All right, so that's their turn. Next up there's some battle going on below, but that's pretty much it. Top of the order, Gex. What do you want to do?
Well, since this is Sparta, I really, really want to chest kick him into that vat of beast. That's my name for it now. It's
Nice.
the vat of beast.
So we're going to
caustic
resolve
acid?
this just as a standard hit, but instead, it's a push action.
Yeah. So what am I rolling for that?
Actually, I've never really done push actions in like 3 years of
You should-
Dungeons and Dragons.
Just
I'm always-
unarmed strike. Would it be an unarmed strike?
Athletics check.
Yeah, you could just do this as athletics or as an attack. I would allow either one, whichever one you prefer.
They're both the same, I think. In
Nice.
this case.
Come on, hefty dice.
Ooh, natural 18 plus 4, 22.
Oh, nice. All right, now it is a contested roll, so he is
Yeah.
going to get a chance to resist. Oh,
Did he not?
he got an 8.
Nice.
Go ahead and describe it, my friend.
Well, I'm gonna rear back. Just heap the kick out there. Get
Are you gonna do,
chucked,
like-
bastard?
Wait,
Nice.
are you going to be like totally on your back and then you just like flip upward to strike him in the chest?
Well, I was standing anyway, so I'm just gonna like lean back and
Ah, yes.
And just
Power.
hoof him.
create some power. Yeah, kick him
All
into
right.
into the pit of despair.
I'm going to see if he's quick enough to fall prone. And he rolled another 4. So, nope. So he just goes.
Damn.
And goes flying backwards. And just right in the middle of the pit. Just falling over backwards. And like his axe outstretched in one hand, and he's just almost eye level with the bard on his back, just falling past the bard. All right, nicely done. Do you want to do anything else?
Do I have the ability to throw anything with this action, or am I? Yeah, I want to throw something at the bard.
You know what? I'll let you do it as a bonus action, but because you're kind of off balance from the kick, I'm going to give you disadvantage.
Sure. I want to put my dagger through his guitar strings.
It's worth a try.
I want to dilute him. Dilution. So I'm just rolling once, right?
You'll be rolling twice and taking the worst.
The lower. Okay,
Yeah.
so the first one was 17. Hopefully that's close to that. 3.
So
Past him. Like,
Yeah. Move
you
away
whip
from
it,
him. Move away
and
from
it just goes
it's like,
right in front of him.
it's hard. Oh.
Nobody likes the fart. He's had worse thrown at him. Mostly feces.
I'm gonna yell at Gex to clear my line of sight because you have your movement.
Oh, well, yes, because I know I'm getting attacked next, so I'll kind of like.
Yeah, you're free to move.
I'm gonna retreat.
Let me just grab myself here.
Yeah, grab. Yeah, that's
I
the
need
kind of
to-
internet show we run here.
I like to grab myself. I'm gonna retreat off this way.
All right, you can get about 6 squares. Yeah, that's about right.
Over here.
Yep.
1, 2.
Yeah, so you actually go
Yep.
running back right next to Rook. And he's standing there. It looks like he's kind of teetering on the edge of this other pit.
Oh,
All right.
there, yeah.
Coming up next, Rook, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm not in a good position to hide just yet. So I am going to take a shot at the bard.
All right.
Like straight up.
You're not a halfling or anything. You can't hide behind a larger companion or anything.
No. No.
Okay.
Just a regular size human.
Now, strictly speaking, you do still have some movement if you want it.
Oh, I do, but I'm going to be using that for something else.
Okay, cool.
20 to hit.
20 to hit? That hits a bard. Yeah.
6 damage on top of the 9.
Ooh, that'll do it. So he's and the arrow just Where did you want to? What do you want to do with this?
Since I rolled not great damage, I'm going to actually shoot him in the loot.
You pin his loot through it
Him.
into him, and he's just like.
Poetic justice, pun intended.
And he goes
Live
falling
by
off
the
the
loot.
pit.
Die by the loot.
So live by the loot, die by the loot. I love that. That's fun.
Not that he has to end up dying, but he's definitely going down.
Yeah, he's down. Yeah, you don't need to worry about that particular encore.
Okay. And now with my
That's a terrible
movement,
joke.
go 1, 2, 3, 4.
So you're right up. You go walking along on the north end there, over towards Tillman. You're actually pretty close to him.
Now I'm just kind of seeing if I want to. So I still got a couple of spaces. Like I'm basically going to go here and hide amidst the barrels.
Sure thing.
As
Okay,
a
go
bonus
ahead and roll
action.
your stealth. And the crowd's still cheering as Tillman's like raising up and lowering his conductors.
18.
18? That's pretty damn good. Half the crowd can't see you right now. You just kind of
And that would
duck in behind him.
yeah.
All
And
right.
I'm just basically setting up for the stopping these other guys. But anyways, that's my turn.
Absolutely. Okay, so on the opposite side of the arena, you can see the other team go into work. Turg has now walked a little bit closer to the middle, kind of flanking where the blue line would be on a hockey arena. Harnissa kind of pauses near the middle, crouches low, and then just stands there taking it in, watching Tillman, drop the other team, and her lip curls in this kind of sign of appreciation, and you can almost hear like this low kind of rumble in the back of her throat, even across all this noise. Gordon's back. Welcome back. Then on the very, very bottom of this map, you can see Garrick, and he goes running, just muscles, his legs just pumping like pistons as he ducks around some barrels right at the edge of one of the few bridges out onto this platform where this large iron tree is. And he gets there and then spends his action running across it. He's quite nimble for such a big guy as he goes skittering across this bridge. We'll just see. Oh, that was cocked. That was also cocked. Apparently, I have a slanted desk. All right. Yeah, he makes it without any issue and gets up pretty much up to the base of this massive iron tree and looking up at the prize about 40, maybe 50 feet above him. That's going to be their turn. On the far south, you hear the clanging of battle as there is an elf, originally from that Goliath team, and she's dressed in these kind of burgundy half robes. If you had to guess, she would be some kind of martial, but very. She's using a short sword, or almost like a scimitar-looking thing. But the way she moves is very martial, so she's probably a monk of some kind. And so she's locked in battle with the druid from the team that you know, and they are just circling each other. And Krell is just snarling, his snout almost extended, a little bit wolf-like, as he's just. All right, that is their turn. The other team is out of commission, so that brings us down to Hilda.
All right.
What do you want to do?
I guess at this point, and I have to pull myself to a more or less standing position.
Absolutely. So go ahead and roll athletics to climb on up.
All right.
I will say
Double
the
hand
internet...
axe guy still there?
Yeah, the two hand axe guy is standing there.
Oh.
Ankle's pretty slashed though.
Yeah, he's kind of clutching at his sore leg. He almost dropped his half axe.
9. I rolled a 9 total.
All right. So you're not gonna be up yet. It's slow going as you kind of try to pull up and your axe starts to slide out. And you give a little slip and you're like, ugh, and you brace yourself so you don't fall in any further. But it's slow going. It's a slow climb. So you're not up yet. That was your movement. If you want to spend your action, you can continue getting up, or you can try to do something else. Although you're technically prone, so it might have disadvantage or something.
All right.
The other guy is still in reach, though.
All right. So I wonder if this is going to work. Maybe with disadvantage with my other hand, and that's holding axe is still holding it.
Yeah.
With my other hand, with the hammer, warhammer, I'm going to try and take another swing at the ankle that I injured.
Nice. Okay, make your roll. It is with disadvantage, but fortune favors the bold.
Okay.
Oh, that's my favorite sound right there. How'd it go?
Lower row was 7 plus my attack bonus. I think that's 12.
And
You get to roll a d4, right? Because you're blessed.
Oh, yeah. Roll d4. That could make all the difference. He's not heavily armored.
It's a 4.
Oh, that'll do it. That will do it. You just got him. Just clipped him on the ankle as you reach over, just swatting him. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right, warhammer. All right, it's 5.
Hey, every bit counts. Awesome. You hear a sickening crunch as the bones just. You don't know if it's broken or a real bad smash, but you just hear him yelp, and he kind of tries to hop away, and he's gonna lose his balance. I think I'm gonna make him do an acrobatics check with disadvantage. The 9 is not gonna save him, so he's going to fall, and I will roll a d8 to see which way he's going to fall, because that could matter. So let's see. North is going to be directly up, and that's going to be a 1. Then 2. Then actually, I'll roll the d10. I'll roll the d10. So 2. You know what? I'm gonna do the d12, and that'll be the o'clock. That'll work. All right. Oh, okay. Interestingly, as he like grabs his sore ankle and kind of pitches over, he ends up pitching at 9 o'clock, which is directly towards you, as he overcompensates and goes ass over tea kettle right on top of you, and you're as he lands on you. So you guys are a little muddle puddle right there. All right.
Is the ground cracking underneath
Oh,
us?
it. I'll see. Would you rather? Well, these are my oldest dice, by the way. Like, just a quick little side note. I love these dice. Had these since I was. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Since I was 12. Would you rather green or orange?
Orange, because that matches my hair. Not
There.
Hilda's hair.
I was gonna say we can't see it on the camera. I mean, mine was pink for a while. All right. Orange it is. So if you win, do you want the ground to crack or not to crack? You can decide. Hold on. Let me see.
Ooh.
Okay, you win. What do you want?
Let the bodies hit the floor.
So you want it to give way?
Yes. Let's
All
see
right.
what is going.
Sure. Now it's gonna be you. You go as well, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the ground underneath both of you gives way, and instead of resisting, you just lean into it. You're just like, yes. And you kick your feet a little just to get it all going in this little landslide as the dirt just down this crevice. Now, the good news is, I'm going to give you advantage on any saves or anything like that because you chose to go down here. But you get dragged into this tiny little pit with the dwarf, and you kind of, at the very last second as you're going in, you just give this little shoulder, whoop, and he goes head first over you. Just a little slight tuck. And so he is now facing down, and you're just sliding down, dragging your hammer and your battle axe along the dirt. All right, so you are both in this crack. After a few seconds, you hear...
Wait, it's 2 dwarves in the crack?
And then after a few seconds later, you understand what that sound was, as he has gone head first in, and a few seconds later, you end up going feet first in this extremely thick, almost honey-like liquid. You're a good 10 feet down in the pit, in this little crack, and it's not filled with this stuff, but you hit a little edge of it, and you can feel your boots get wet, and that is that so far. All right, coming up next, Tillman.
All right, so Tillman will use his move and action to move 60 feet. So you see the quickest waddle all the way up to here.
Speed
Nice.
waddle. Speed waddle.
Speed waddle. And that'll be it.
All right.
Or actually, he's gonna use his bonus action just to go to the crowd and start a chant that says, "Turd, turd, turd."
Nice.
Turd.
Okay, do a performance check for me. See how much
Oh,
you can rile
shit.
them up. Yeah.
-3.
Oh no.
Okay. Whoa, shit.
That's not bad for you.
I'm surprised. I rolled the 16 and I got a 13. So
I was just getting ready to, how do I describe this in an epic way but also fail? But you pull it off, my friend. It starts a little low, and it takes you a little bit of time. But as you reach those barrels that you're kind of next to, on the north end, again, about the blue line, on the opposite side, on the north end there, the crowd has picked up this chant, and it begins to spread from close in and start to spread around. And then you hear another group on the far side pick it up. Turk, Turk, the turd. Turk, the turd. And there's a little muddled, but they get the basics. And then it's kind of, you're not sure who's going to win. Is it going to be Turk the turd, or is it going to be Tortle, because they don't know who you are. So they're just cheering for the Tortle.
second hand vicious mockery right there.
Exactly. Take that, Bard. All right, that is your turn. Thank you. And we are down to the wire. All right, let's go. I believe the Goliath. Nobody looked, but meanwhile, the Goliath has also fallen into that pit. And Hilda, you're kind of able to brace yourselves on the walls a little bit, so you're not fully in. It's just kind of up to your knees or so. And you look out, you see the ass end of the dwarf, the dual hand axe guy. But his feet are kicking right next to you because he's gone in face first, and he's kind of in up to his waist, but upside down. And then a little bit away to your right, your dwarven eyes are very good at darkness, and you pick up just the top little bit of this extremely muscular Goliath, just swimming into the top, and he reaches up, and then this bubbles just kind of come up, but they stay up. Like there's 3 kind of bubbles that come up, and then they form into these kind of rough pseudopods, and they just around one of his arms, and he's just reaching up, he's calling out, and one of the other ones goes around his mouth. He's like, and it just starts pulling him down. And he's still above the surface, but only barely, because he is wicked strong. You can also see the dangling Bard as he's laying on the platform. His hands and one leg dangling off the wooden platform just above. All right, that's their turn. So that brings us to the top of the order. Gex, what do you want to do?
Come on, Gex.
Did I notice Hilda go down the hole?
I'm gonna say you're on opposite sides of that really big pillar. So I'm gonna say I don't think you did. Sorry, man. I don't think you saw.
So then I'm just gonna go towards the goal.
Fair enough. All right. I am gonna ask you to go ahead and make your. It's pretty far, so I don't know.
Yeah,
like you go ahead and tell me, how far can you get?
How do I determine that? I have a walking speed of 30
So it's 6,
feet.
30? Yeah, so that's 6 squares, and if you use your action as well, you can double that. And you're a rogue, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He can use his bonus action to dash, but I guess also if you have a ranged weapon, you could use it. Up to you.
So I could get here and then use the ranged weapon.
Yep.
Yeah, you could move, bonus action. Yeah. And then
So
use
that's-
an action too.
So you just go past Rook
I have on
and
rangy range.
right over top of some of the fallen team members there. They're not putting up any resistance. And you go whoop, leap over the Furbolg woman who's bending down to help her fallen companion. And you leap up kind of on a bunch of refuse and debris, like metal, sheet metal, and other wood piles that you can kind of get a little cover behind. And you lean over it. You can see Harnessa probably about 40 feet just south of you towards the center. You also see, about 40, 45 feet away. You also see Turg directly south of where you are, but he's a little further away, almost in line with the pillar. Yeah.
And then do I have a line of sight on this guy here?
Again, that massive stone pillar with the fire on top is directly between you,
here.
so you don't
Yeah.
see him.
Okay, I'm
You
gonna
you
try
saw
and,
him go that way. You know roughly where he was, but you don't know exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and shoot this guy with the old bow.
Oh, sorry, which one?
This dude right here.
Ah, you're going after Turg, the
Turd, the
creepy
turd.
halfling. Turg the
He-
turd.
He can-
Turd the
he can
turd.
suck it. So I will do a attacking roll here. 14. Turd, 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 turd. So 18 plus 4, 25. Oh, 23. Jeez.
23 is definitely going to hit.
And then the damage on that thing is, roll the damage. 1d6 plus 3. 6.
All right, 6 damage. All right, so he's. Let me just find out where he's at.
Bird.
All right, it does contact and it does hurt him, and the daggers. Sorry, what was it again?
It was an arrow. Shot
Okay,
the
so-
bow at
You loose this little short bow arrow at him, or longbow.
short bow.
Okay, so you kind of bring the short bow up, and the arrow hits him kind of in the left thigh, and you expect him to react with pain, but he almost looks down like puzzled. Like, what was it?
What bit me?
And then he looks
just
over, and
look
now
up.
he sees you. Do a deception check. I'll accept that. Try to look casual.
What, me? Couldn't be me.
18?
18? All right, one second. Oh, okay. Now, you're trying your best to look totally casual, and he's just seeing through it. Like that one teacher in school who's just not taking any of your shit anymore. And, and you're just like, yeah, he knows. Fully knows.
You know,
And you know that he knows because he turns his full attention on you, and you get this sickening knot in your stomach, just like, you've seen some of the nasty stuff. You flash back to the bar for a second when you first saw them attacking Tillman, and the random human got caught by that inflict wounds and just withered away into a husk and died. And you're just like, oh, that's the look he gave just prior to that. Ah, damn it. So,
duck down and hide. That's the.
you've used your bonus action though, but you can fall prone if you want to. You can fall prone if you want to. You can leave your friends behind.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
It would give
Prone.
disadvantage on range.
yeah. That would be a smart idea. I think I'll play it smart.
Sure,
I'll just
absolutely.
It just
Roll
like
control.
flat into the ground.
everybody. I will engage in some impromptu planking.
All right, so you
The elbow.
fall,
All right.
just fall on the wood platform, not behind it, just on it. All right, coming up next, Rook.
All right. Apologies. It just seems like interwebs is not helping tonight, so I'm just gonna have the camera off.
No worries, man.
From my position of stealth, I am going to line up and with the Turg distracted by Gex, I'm going to line up a shot on him and loose.
All right,
Nice.
now it's pretty far.
up.
What's the range on what you're using?
It's 80, and he's 60.
Nice. All right, on the pretty much kitty corner across this almost swimming pool sized pit. Now this one looks to go even deeper than the other small pit that you've been at. And at a glance, you don't see anything down there. It's really dark, a little misty even. Okay, make your shot.
All right, with advantage.
Yep, he does not see you. $23. That hits.
Actually, it's 24.
Ooh.
Plus 25.
25 definitely hits. Is this
Definitely
nasty old halfling's just like and reaches his claw towards Gex.
No.
And take 13 points to the
Ooh.
face.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
Good
That
old
hurts.
faith.
That hurts a lot. Boy. He's looking out and the arrow takes him right in the right eye. Just in the eye. And again, there's this weird pause. It's just like, huh? And when he looks to the right, with his eyes tracking towards where you are, you can even see the arrow pivot as the muscles, and the blood starts to pour. So he does bleed, but he's got this weird slow lag in the way that he feels any kind of pain. And then he goes,
Yeah. He's like the drunken master of spellcasting.
and he starts to wail in this creepy, almost baby cry, as he's just like, and he reaches up and grabs the arrow and just pulls it out. And you can see shish kebabbed on the end. The little what remains of the eye and the optic nerve just nasty. And he looks at it with his other good eye and this sickening wound, and he's just like,
That is a dwarf that does not know when to quit.
He's a halfling or a gnome?
he's a halfling.
Halfling.
Yeah.
He's still up after taking 18? Holy crap.
Damn. Ooh.
He has
He's only-
many hit points.
Only barely, and I mean barely. But he is up,
Hey.
and he's permanently lost an eye.
An inch is
Wow.
as good as a mile. Or at least that's what he tells his girlfriend.
Does that affect his depth perception in any
It definitely would affect his depth perception. As you guys are all like shouting insults at him. All right, coming up next,
Death.
Rook, do you want to do anything else?
Yeah, I
it's
think it's. Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
to your left, you see the tower, the wooden tower, but that's kind of back away from where you want to go. And to your right, you see Gex trying to pretend he's a board on top of a pile of boards.
Yeah.
And
Just
then
blending in.
And then pretty far to your right, you can see Tillman along the edge of the boards there. You're pretty much out in the open other than those little barrels you're hiding behind.
Okay. I am going to. I'm actually going to, because I want to get out of line of sight. So, where Gex is at? Is he?
There's quite a pile of stuff there,
here.
and if he was behind it, you could probably get cover and hidden. But where he was up on it to get a better shot.
Okay, so I'm basically going to be behind the pile.
So you duck in behind him and the pile. Go ahead and make your stealth.
Yeah, and I'm going to use bonus action to hide again.
Absolutely.
I see. He's using Operation Get Behind the Goliath.
I'm also hurt, so
He's no good.
Operation.
Operation.
man, I took like quite a bit of damage, but yeah, I'm at 24 to hide.
That is a pretty darn good stealth roll. All right, you're fairly confident that you cannot be seen.
And that's my turn.
There's actually this. You recognize this platform is not just a pile. There's like stones and stuff on one side, and then boards laying on top. But there's a little gap underneath. You can just almost dive into this little very low lean-to kind of looking thing. All right, coming up next.
As I pass by, I just whisper, almost either to Gex or to someone else, it's for trying to hit me in the balls.
So you can just say that again. It was a little quiet.
That's for trying to hit me in the balls.
You lose an eyeball.
You gotta protect them all.
Oh.
I didn't forget that. He took a swing at me in the bar.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
It's
The
true.
elbow.
Turn my ball for a ball.
A ball for a ball.
Hey,
Maybe that'll be our question of the day for the audience. Which ball would you rather lose?
Left,
Ooh.
right, left. Oh, sorry.
Upper or lower? Anyway.
Upper and lower. Well, you got 2 of each.
Oh dear. Anywho, so meanwhile, that is Rook. Coming up next is the other gang, the ones that you're up against, the remaining few.
Oh.
You can hear more than see Garrick as he begins to climb this iron tree. He's roaring every once in a while, and the crowd is cheering. And you can, those of you, I believe Tillman has a bit of a line of sight on him, and you can see him climbing this thing. And every once in a while, if he misplaces a hand as he's climbing, it just pierces through some of these iron spikes that line this tree if he's not too careful. So he makes the mistake on one of the climb and takes a little bit of damage just from that. And he kind of... And then he keeps on climbing. So he takes a little bit of damage from that. And meanwhile, so he's climbing, but it's half speed, so he gets about maybe 15, 20 feet up in the air as he's climbing up the far side of this tree. And it's the prize is probably about 60 feet to the top of it. All right, there's this moment of pause as Hernessa peeks from behind her own kind of makeshift cover platform where she'd been crouching. And she looks up and she sees Gex, and Gex kind of lifts his head up, makes eye contact for the briefest of time, and you could see her grinning, her feline features. She's a beautiful tabaxi woman, and just super lithe, and just, I don't know, just all of the perfect features align, and you get this really warm grin as she's, all right then. And then she turns and bolts and uses her tabaxi feature where she can double her distance in a move, and you just see her just almost on all fours and then leaps this good solid 10-foot gap with incredible grace as she leaps off of that platform. I gotta move the platform so I can grab her. 1 sec. 5, 10, and then she leaps and makes it lands a good almost 8 feet past the lip of it on that center island where the iron tree is, and then just keeps going. She's got about 20, 30, and then she starts to climb, and you see her claws leaving these little scratch marks on this iron tree. It's some of it's wood, some of it is iron in various patchworks as it goes up, and so she's able to kind of mad scramble her way up this tree. A good 15 more feet, so she's only about 5 feet below Garrick on the opposite side of him as they both start scrambling up this tree. Meanwhile, Turg, who's still wailing, walks a little bit closer and doesn't see Rook because you've changed position. He's just trying to, and he's going. 2 things are going to happen. This sickle appears in the air just next to the barrels where Rook had been just a moment before, and takes a slash and rakes across them, and in the action causes a minute amount of spark as it just rakes across the metal of the barrels. And that spark is just enough to ignite the flames as this massive explosion rocks that whole area. Fortunately, actually, the team that was damaged by you guys is still within range and pays the price.
Pretty sure they got pulled away, huh?
They've been pulled back a little, and a rope ladder has been lowered down, and they're still, 2 of them are still up, and 2 of them are barely standing as they're trying to climb up this rope ladder on the far side to get out of this arena to a small door that's probably about 20 feet up in the air. And so some of them are up, but they get just shaken by this blast. It doesn't look like it drops them, but it definitely it shakes the whole area as this massive blast explodes out from that barrel. The second thing happens is this sickening purple, blistering, bubbling light just streaks across, trying to hit Gex, because he can only see Gex, but it's with disadvantage. Oh, so normally that would be a 21. However, this disadvantage, because you fell prone, he rolled a 1. You lucky
duck.
Although that was tactics. That was brains too.
Yes.
Flank pays off.
Flank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Comes in handy all the time.
Love the prone. Love the prone. All right.
Follow Gex for more hacks.
No kidding. So that purple thing just above your head and strikes the wall behind and hits it with this, and it kind of little pops, almost like purple bubbles, kind of shimmer around the wall where it hit, and the spikes on the wall just past your head there. But you definitely.
Can I tell where that originated? Like,
It was Turg, and he cast guiding bolt at you, but missed. You lucky bastard. That would have hurt. That would have hurt a lot.
I'll take it.
Yep. And the other thing, by the way, is spiritual weapon for anybody playing along at home. All right, coming up next is I lost track. Is it Hilda? I think it's Hilda.
Should
think
be
so.
soon, anyway.
All right, Hilda. What do you want to do?
At this point, am I like up to my chest in this goo?
Well, you're actually, because you can wedge on the walls, it's just up to your knees, and you're actually stable for now. You're kind of in a little crevice, so you're able to press against the walls and hold yourself from falling any further in. The dwarf, the human with the hand axes next to you does not have that luxury, and he's squirming around, and he's in up to his ankles upside down, so his feet are sticking out. But he's kind of pivoting himself to try to bring his head up, so you can see his face is starting to come towards the surface. You can swim in this. It's just not fun.
Oh, okay. Could you breathe in this? Because... okay. So, let's see. What are some options here?
So you can climb up.
Are the walls narrow enough that I can, like, kind of shimmy?
You know what? I think they are. And this would be an excellent time to insert a sound effect. Parkour. So you could brace against one side. You could use your axe and hammer, or just your arms and legs, and just pressure walk your way up if you want to. That would be an athletics check for the climb. You're about 10 feet below the surface of the arena.
Let's go with the athletics check then. Not that dice. That dice has screwed me over. Ooh. So that is a 22.
It's called stemming? I did not know that. That's cool. Thanks, Steve. The more
rock climbing terminology.
Yeah, man.
So we stem our way
that.
up.
All right. And with a 24. Sorry, is that what you said?
22.
22. Absolutely. So you're using your axe is probably more useful here. So you use it as a little dig to give, and then you start wedging your legs and arms, and you just start kind of spidering your way up this wall, or stemming your way up between this crevice, and you manage to climb. You can do 15 feet, so you can actually get all the way up to the top of it. The axe digs into the top, and you get your upper body up over, and you do a big, like you're coming out of a pool, and and you kind of stand up, and you see the smoke from this explosion off to your left, and take stock of where everybody is, and the crowd actually spots you do this, and you hear some of them start to yell and cheer.
She's not dead. She's not dead yet.
And you can actually now hear somebody up there is using thaumaturgy to kind of announce and do play-by-play. Nobody's heard this. They've been doing it the whole time, but you're only now able to take a few deep breaths in the heat of battle to notice.
Awesome. Looking around, can I take a look at how the dual-wielding human and the Goliath are doing in this pool of goo?
So the dual-wielding human, you look down, and he's got his face up out, and he's now trying to do the same thing you did. And so it's going to take him a little while, because he's about a round behind you, as it were. But
Okay.
he's not nearly as good at it as you are, but he's managing to kind of get the basic idea, and he's levered himself up about waist high out, and he'd been fully submerged, and now he's back up. So the human dual axe guy right near you, but below, he'll be okay. You look out, and the bard is sitting there breathing in slow, rasping gasps, the loot literally pinned and blood just seeping around it as he's laying on the wooden bridge. And it's kind of slowly shifting up and down. You look down, and all you see of the Goliath is this hand sticking out of the greenish black liquid, and just... And he does not look good.
Ooh, oh no.
You can see
Okay.
him under the surface. These tendrils kind of wrapped around him. What do you want to do?
Ooh. Well,
You've used your movement. You still have an action and a bonus.
To add insult to injury, can I pick something up and throw it at this human? I'm standing at the.
Absolutely. And remember, you have plot points. So what do you want to throw at him? There's debris.
Ooh.
There's
Plot point.
there's a
Does
hand
the
axe
have a
that he dropped.
suggestion? Oh, he dropped a hand axe?
Yep.
Oh boy. I want to do that.
You just pick it up, look down, and just drop it
You
on
dropped it.
him? Or do you throw it at him to do damage?
Okay. I am.
It doesn't matter. Just roll attack.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That is a 21.
Oh, that hits. Go ahead and roll the d6 plus your strength or dex. Oh no, it's strength actually.
Okay.
You do it super casual. You just hold it out and just let it go, but the aim is true.
I'm like, you just dropped this over here. It's a six damage.
It's like a scene out of Home Alone. He's like, what? Bonk! Oh, that hurts. All right. That is so funny. That's enough. And he starts to sink again. He's still in the... and his head is lolled to one side. If you wanted to do lethal damage or just knock him out?
But this is just knocking him out.
Sure.
I only.
So it's like the
dropped it,
hammer side of your hatchet hits him.
Yeah.
Just the bunk. And he's like... blub, blub, blub. All right, Tillman, coming up next.
All right, so I will move my 30 feet here, and I will cast sleep right about here, but so that Garrett could have go within the 20 feet, but not Marisa.
Okay. Now, are you can you upcast sleep? No, you're only level 2. So,
Yep.
go ahead and make your rolls. He's a little damaged from his climb, but he's otherwise pretty fresh.
Okay, 5d8. Ouch. For 20 hit points.
20. Okay. All right.
That
So
is
he's busy just climbing, and then you just see him slow down for a second, and he gets his hand out, and it rakes along this iron spike. So he does take some damage from the tree as he kind of misses his
Okay.
grip as he's distracted. So he does take 3 points of piercing damage from that, but unfortunately, in that kind of half falling and the damage that he takes as he relaxes, that actually wakes him up again. He's like, and he then seems ready to resume his climb. Unfortunately, sleep did not take. All right. If you position that differently, I don't know if you know this. You know where Harnessa is. You could have tried to
know.
get her. Oh, I see.
yes,
You were
but
trying
then
to.
It splits
Right.
the hit points.
That makes sense. Never mind. I was just wondering. But okay. So unfortunately, it didn't take. Do you have anything for a bonus you want to do?
No, not at this stage.
All right. And that's your turn. Okay, we're gonna go to the top of the order. Gex.
Well, I should
Plank it.
de-plank myself.
Deep
Uh,
play.
Turd's not really an issue anymore, right? So
Turg?
He's still an issue.
He's still there. He just shot at you.
Still up. He's just barely up.
okay.
He's barely up, but he looks angry.
Well, I
And
feel like
he's
finishing
leaning on
off.
his staff pretty hard.
So I'm gonna move myself to about here,
Okay. So you kind of
and then
rush along to next to that large concrete pillar with the fire on top.
I'm gonna shoot him again,
Nice.
right in the something in the other eye, ideally.
How'd you do?
My bonus on that. So 17. We got some.
Nope, sorry. 17 does hit. I was just responding to Tihmily. Yeah, go for it. 17 does hit. It doesn't hit his eye, but it does hit him.
So damage is 9 this time.
Oh, you rolled max 6?
Oh.
Nice.
This
Well
one
done.
takes
I
him in
think
the
he's down.
chest, and he, again, there's that weird lag of him slowly
He's an indestructible halfling.
looks down at this arrow sticking out of his chest. And then he just kind of goes to grab it again in his anger, and his hands just kind of don't quite close. And he starts, then the big human-sized quarterstaff type thing starts to wobble, and then falls from his grip, and he just kind of slouches to one side and falls over, and he is down. By the way, what did you want, lethal or non-lethal arrow damage?
He wouldn't distinguish. It's an arrow. It does killing.
He's not quite dead yet, but he's dying
Mm-hmm. He can
as
suck
he
it.
slouches over. Nice job.
It
All right.
is my past observations of him have not ingratiated him to me at all.
That's fair. And the crowd goes ballistic.
Are you not entertained?
Nice. All right. Coming up
Yeah.
next,
I don't
Rook.
have any more movement, I'm assuming. Okay.
To get up, used about half
Yeah.
your movement. I was a bit
Yeah.
generous in getting you there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're
All
good.
That's kind of why I went towards the pillar, to be
Yeah.
sort of not exposed.
All right. Rook comes padding up almost beside you, and when he appears there, you are scared just shitless as he just kind of like, oh god. He's like appears out of nowhere, just ghost-like, because you had no idea he was that stealthy.
And-
I think he had a 24.
Yeah. And I'm going to turn on Harnissa and let loose. On
All
her
right.
as she's climbing.
You all get Gex feel is this little hand just ever so slightly shove your arm out of the way. And
Sickle. Yep. Okay. With advantage, I assume.
with advantage. Ooh, 25 is good. See if you can go for that crit. The 5 is not. 25 does hit.
26.
26
all right.
does hit.
I was going for the
As
crit.
she's just cat climbing a tree.
Now she's a cat getting 15. Damage.
Whoa. All right.
Wow.
Ow. In the business, they call that bloodied. All right.
Just
So
like,
she is.
That's a pretty good roll.
Yeah, that was pretty good damage. With all the sneak attack on top. And she scratches down the tree a good 5 feet from where she climbed up to. And she concentrates, grits her teeth, just snarls. And hisses down at you and clocks where you and Gex are and Cece both. All right. Coming up next. Let's see. That's going to be them. So Harnissa looks over at Garrick and she says something in Orcish. So I'm not sure if you guys know what they say. And he nods and he kind of grabs this one of the iron branches and kind of swings himself kind of around to kind of try to get some cover behind this tree. And then she kind of does the same move to get in behind the tree and just weaving in and out between the branches as she goes climbing full speed up this tree. So she's going to do 15. She was at 15, so she's now at 30. And she's actually going to spend her next turn. So she's now at 45. So she's 15 feet below this the star that is the prize at the end of this competition. Garrick is... Sorry?
Interweave. Sorry about that. I just got back.
No worries.
Interwebs.
So they're spending their turn trying to climb the tree and get cover behind it from your current position. So they can't
What
quite
happened
get
to
cover.
Harnissa?
Yeah, that was Harnissa. And
Okay.
she's still up. She's hurt. She's bloodied, but she is snarling and hissing and climbing like her life depends on it. And so is Garrick on this turn. Actually, you know
Okay.
what?
I'm just... Yeah.
She's climbing at top speed, and Garrick, who is about 20 feet up in the air, grabs a branch, swings, plants his feet on another one, and gets low, and then just, you know, the knee drop where you crouch on your knees and then drop off. So he gets as low as he can from about 15 feet up, and goes landing at the bottom of the tree and pulls out his weapons and just turns
Nice.
and looks, and he calls up in Orcish. For those who speak Orcish, I think somebody does. Anybody speak Orcish?
Nope.
No.
They
Let
did
me
not
see.
use that in med school.
Nope.
It's funny. All the medical terms are in Orcish. It's almost like they're more used to dissecting people and got the chance to name the organs first. Yeah.
This world version of Latin is just Orcish.
Yeah, there. That's
Right.
canon. That is canon now. It's Orcish.
It's Orcish then.
Everything binomial nomenclature is Orcish. You know.
Exactly. So, yeah, you understand the key terms, and he's gonna... I'm gonna you in the... with the... and that... broken end of my... boot.
Can I even hear that where I am?
He's loud. He's a big loud guy. At which point he's gonna use the last of his movement to go walking over here to where the bridge on the nearest side to you guys. He's going to walk towards it and kind of post up, preventing anybody from going across that bridge. And he's going back and forth between where Tillman is and then the opposite. It's kind of like an L-shaped bridge. One going almost north, the other one going almost east. And so Gex and Rook are off on the east side, and then Tillman's on the north. And Garrick is guarding from both with his weapons out. All right, that's their turn. Top of the order.
I was going to use my bonus action to stealth. That's all.
Go for it. Make your stealth roll. Coming up next is actually Hilda.
Go ahead, Hilda.
All right. I am going to start moving to the. Let's see. I will. Oh, get me.
So you can do
Movement
6
is
squares.
20.
Is it
25?
Is it 25 or 30? I always get that mixed up. Anybody know?
My character sheet was pretty messed up from the first time when we began, so it's still 25.
Okay.
So I think that's 5 squares, right?
I think that's right. Yeah, that'll be 5 squares. And then you can spend your action to do another 5.
1, 2, 3.
Probably the most direct route. You could go up and around, or you could risk that bridge going across the middle.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, dwarves at
What?
25.
Thank you.
I'm going to risk the bridge.
All right.
Rickety.
So
As
you
we
actually
can see,
you hop over the little cliff, the little pit where where you and the human had fallen in. I'm gonna need an athletics check or acrobatics. It's pretty low DC. You understand now that was a bit of a trap.
I'm gonna roll for acrobatics, and that is gonna give me a 7.
Is 7? Oh,
A 7.
really? Well, all right.
Should I roll the d4?
Yes, actually, let's do that.
It's blessed now. Okay, it's now an 11.
All right. Well, that's above 10. And so how it works is you hop, but your legs don't push you quite as far as you need to go. So instead of landing on your feet on the far side, you kind of ungracefully kind of fall prone for a second and then kind of stand up sheepishly as the audience is like, "Oh, okay, she's okay." and then you get back up again and you keep going. But you've lost, I'm going to say you lost 10 feet of movement in that little snafu, unfortunately.
Okay.
So you can only get, so that's 5, 10, 15, that's 25 to here, and then the next 25 will get you to the edge of the bridge down here. As you, I mean, yeah, that'll work. So you get there, and you're now toes just over the edge looking out at this rickety looking bridge. There are missing boards. This one is rope bridge, but it does have hand ropes as well. So you're like able to kind of, but it's the classic wooden bridge that's missing planks. But it will get you there a little faster than going around the other way.
Can I take a moment before the end of my term to just go like, oh, all the paladin gods.
Absolutely.
Let me make it first.
For sure.
Let me make it home.
Absolutely. All right. It's a drop. Hopefully it can hear you. Hopefully they can hear you all the way down here. Okay. Coming up next, Tillman.
I am gonna do Toll the Dead on Harnisa.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you're not even looking at Garrick. You look up past him, and you toll the dead.
The logic being, if
Well
I
done.
target her, then he's gonna come rushing at me. Then he'll be at the mercy of the bridge.
Absolutely, man. Good call.
So
I believe that's
Wisdom 12.
okay. All right. Hold on. There we go. Oh, that's an 18. I'm sorry. It does not take effect. As you reach up to try to just distract, and you hear it go off, but it doesn't seem to, like, she kind of, you see the tuft of fur on her neck kind of go, like, standing straight on end. She can hear something, but it doesn't cause the damage, and she's just like, and it seems to edge her on and make her want to climb even faster, because she knows that trouble is coming. Do you want to do anything else?
I'd love to taunt Garrick, but
Tell you
can I
what.
do that as a bonus action?
Yeah, you can do it as a bonus action. Go for it. I'm gonna go with this would be intimidation. I'm gonna let this because you're. Well, how are you going to taunt him? And then I will tell you which stat you're going to use to roll.
I want to try and goad his pride, essentially.
Sure, Dave. What do you do?
Hey man, I don't think you have the guts to cross this bridge. Come face me, man, to Turtle.
He's listening. He can hear you, and he's just like, that doesn't make any sense. And what do you do?
Or I can go to the crowd and say, Garrett Gutless. Gutless.
Nice. You know what? Because of the callback, I'm gonna let you do a performance roll again.
Ooh.
And here we go.
Oh no!
Okay, not all successes. It's alright.
Oh no. That's bad.
So that's a -2 for our listeners at home.
It's written in giant red letter and numbers.
Yep. Okay, so you start getting the chant going, and you turn around to, like, just pump them up, right? You're standing at the edge of the bridge, and you turn around, and let's just say for one moment, you lose concentration on where you are, and as you pivot around, your right foot, where you thought you were stepping on the ground, your heel catches the edge of the wood plank at the edge of the bridge, and then slips off, and you're like, you're convinced, like, for just a second, convinced you are about to fall to your death in this pit that you can look down and you know. What do you do in this reaction? You've got a heartbeat as you're convinced you're gonna fall.
Try and orient myself back on the platform. Just get my balance.
All right. Now, normally when you're about to go over the edge of something, you have a couple of options. You can try to do acrobatics, or you could just fall prone and make sure you don't go over the edge. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna fall prone.
All right.
I imagine that's like the equivalent of like looking into the shell.
It's true.
Almost.
Not quite. I think there's a mechanic behind that, but absolutely. So you're like, ooh, and you choose to fall prone at the edge, and just on your back on your shell, and just slowly pivoting, and
The turtle has turtled.
exactly. And it turns out it was just the edge of this edge of the bridge, not that edge of the bridge. So you've actually fallen prone on the square where you are instead of over right dangling on the edge. And so you had no real reason to. You just kind of lost your footing and like, so that was your -2. And the crowd's like,
maybe it will go Garrett to come and get me, seeing that I'm vulnerable and everything now. Maybe it's a success in disguise.
you've fallen and you can't get up.
No.
And the crowd is busy chanting,
Garrett the Gutless. Garrett the oh, and he's okay.
Yeah, okay. Look at me spin. Whee!
all right.
All right. So now you're flipped onto your shell portion, and
Yeah,
like,
you're ready to get up next round. All right. Top of the order. Gex, what do you want to do?
Well, where's Harnissa?
She's hard to see. She's gone to the far side of the tree, so it's going to be really hard. The tree's getting thinner, though, so it would be an extreme cover for the shot for her from where you are right now. But she's about 15 feet below the prize.
If I run 1, 2, 3. If I run and do some jumping, I think I could just barely make it to there.
Okay. So
According to this jump calculator, I have a horizontal leap of 18 feet if I run.
Nice. Yeah, I forget you're real strong. So go ahead and do an acrobatics check for me. Either acrobatics or athletics. It's your choice.
Oh, let's go with acrobatics.
All right.
Seems more flourishy.
You get up to speed, go running, trying to do what she did a few minutes ago.
17 plus 5 is 22.
Oh,
And
nice.
Does Blessed help me? Plus 3.
Sure. I think I let it. I don't know if it does or not, but it's really cool here. You definitely land, and you did that as good as she did. You didn't quite get the same distance as her, but it's it was damned impressive. All right, so you clear the distance, land on the edge, and you're just like, yeah. And then you look up at her, and she's on a slight angle now, but you got a better angle now.
We hit her now with your action.
She's still got partial cover, +2 to her AC.
So what did you say, Gord?
You could probably now hit her with your action.
Yeah, that's I think gonna be my next move, is to try to do the hitting of her.
All right, make your roll.
I'll have to short bow her. Get short bowed.
Get short bowed.
So 14.
You can roll a d4.
Oh yes, you can
That's
add a D4.
15.
15. Oh.
Oh.
D4s don't really roll. They just kind of like plop down.
Yeah, they just kind of
There's
plump.
know,
So
there's a-
unfortunately, she's nimble at the best of times, wearing like leather armor, but her normal AC was 16, and unfortunately, that is going to miss her. She also had cover, so really needed to roll pretty good to get her. So unfortunately, that's not going to cut it. As the arrow glances off one of the metal spikes and misses her. Sorry, dude. You do have a bonus if you want. Pardon?
Still have a bonus action?
Yeah, you do. You can
How
dash
far
if you
can I
want to.
move with that?
You can leave your friends behind. But if you don't dash, well, then you're gonna crash.
How far can I?
Crash in a single.
Dash is a full movement.
Oh, so I'm gonna 1, 2.
5, 6 squares.
I'm gonna try to get onto the tree, is because I'm
Nice.
There. So I'll
All
just kind of go like wherever that puts me.
Yep. It's your kind of kitty corner to her.
Well, if I can, I want to get around, so I'm like directly under her.
Sure. Yeah, I'd allow that. Although for the visuals, I kind of liked you where you were, because we'll
Okay,
count that
sure.
as directly under.
Right.
Absolutely. So you're gonna kind of follow in her handholds, but she is 45 feet above you.
Yeah, but I can shoot, directly up at her.
Ooh, right in the little
First.
little cat pucker. Yeesh.
Ye old long distance taint punch.
I'm sensing a theme. All right, so that's your turn. Next up is sorry, that was Gex. Rook.
All right. Can I see her from where I'm at?
Harnissa.
Or is it like full cover?
She's got really good cover on the far side of the tree. You might be able to get her, but it's going to be a really, really big bump on her AC. You'll have to roll pretty damn high from that angle.
Okay.
If you
But
go
if I
down,
move down,
yeah, you would have a better angle from there. Only partial cover. Yeah. If you can get to like here or below that, which is almost where Turg fell. Yeah, you could do it from cover there. Yep.
From here?
Yeah, and you actually have the cover of that little kind of ramshackle hut.
That's basically moving like 30 feet, I think, roughly.
Yeah.
Oh. Can you hear me?
All right. Yep, you're good. Oh, the interweaves is not Gordon's friend right now. So he is in behind, and I'm going to say he's probably going to stealth too. So, yeah, man.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello. Hi. Thanks, guys.
Does she have partial cover from here?
She has partial cover from there, but it's only +2 to her AC from where you are now. And you get to stealth if you want to.
Can I hit her from here? Sorry, that was interweaves is really problematic tonight.
No worries, man. Yes, you can hit. Roll the dice.
Okay.
Make the hitting.
Roll.
Oof. Oof.
Oof. Oof.
You are blessed. Oh, and you were stealthing, so yeah, you would have rolled twice, but unfortunately you rolled the same number twice.
Yeah. No, exactly. So I miss.
That's going to be a 12, and that's not going to do it, unfortunately. Sorry, the arrow. Yeah. You don't hit Gex, so...
No.
That's helpful.
Win.
Yes, and I'm going to go with my bonus action, just stealth again.
All right. Yep, nice. So, roll that stealth.
25.
Oh my god, you're a ghost again. The crowd keeps losing.
Like I only have one more shot at her.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
All right.
He just flits in and out of existence. That's kind of his.
Yeah, it's just almost ghostly and just. You're like, wow, God. All right, nice.
There.
Okay, coming up next is them. So, first, Garrick. He catches Gex's landing out of the corner of his eye, and he's kind of looking over at the turtle, just busy on his back. And he says, and stay down. And then he turns and runs towards Gex. And, well, that's the bridge. I'm grabbing the bridge. There we go. And he pulls the entire bridge with him. No.
Bridge.
Yeah, he's that
No
strong.
one's coming on this island.
Where's that confounded bridge?
If I can't have it, no man can. So he goes rushing over to where Gex is. Now, Gex, you didn't get very high that last round. You're only about 5 feet in the air at the moment, just starting your climb. And so he just comes in and just lays into you, just rips it up. So he's gonna take a swing with his wicked-looking blade. That's going to be a 17 to hit. Yeah, that's a hit. Okay. And then he's also going to use his offhand. You see him go, and he's got this meat hook looking thing in there that he had been using to climb a little bit. Like Peter Pan style, like Captain Hook. But this is just one he holds. And so it's an offhand. He doesn't get a bonus, but he gets it. It doesn't get any modifiers to it. But he did crit with it. So he hits with both. Okay. So let's resolve the crit first. Good news, not adding any modifiers to this. So it's just a 2, doubled to 4. So 4 points of piercing damage as he just gets the hook in your thigh as you try to climb. And then he just comes at you with the blade. And that's the 17. And it's slender, but it's essentially a longsword. And that's going to be 8 points of slashing damage. How you doing?
What happens when I go into the negative?
Well, you fall unconscious, and then you'll start doing death saves. So he just... And so he slashes you first, and you're like... And then he gets the hook in your leg and just heaves you off the tree, and then he starts to spin.
Oh no!
Yeah, I need to be doing death saves here, I guess.
In a moment, you will. So we'll resolve that in just a second. All right, coming up next.
That would be a good time to cast sleep on her.
I don't have any more spell slots.
Oh.
So she's 15 feet away, and she's just like mad scramble to get to the top, and she just leaps in the last 5 feet and grabs this thing and just goes flying up past the precipice of the tree, holding this giant, this glowing thing that's about the size of a softball, but it's jagged edges like it was broken off something. And the lights in the whole room kind of flicker and move as this brilliant star-like thing. And she's now 5, 10 feet in the air above the tree, holding it aloft. And then she brings it down and gets one, clutches it kind of like a football to her chest as she's falling down. And she grabs for the edge of the tree as she starts to make her fall. And with the precision grace of that only a cat could have, she comes down and grabs the pinnacle spike, and her claws just raking as she does this slow pirouette down this good 10-foot section, and then lands softly on the branch nearest the top, this long branch, and she's perched way up there, almost probably a good 50 feet in the air, almost directly above where Gex is. And she's holding this thing, and the crowd just loses their mind. All right. There's this loud trumpet call. All I have is this. And the whole place erupts in applause, and she goes padding across. Coming up next, Hilda.
All right.
You have to take it somewhere?
You have to get it, was the rule.
Uh-huh.
So they have won the contest. You do have a few seconds, though, that, maybe there could be a fumble or something. I don't know.
Butt fumble.
Okay.
You're pretty far from all of this.
Yeah. If I were to make my way across the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do?
So it's 25 to the far edge of the bridge. The crowd is just going nuts.
So I make it to the other side of the bridge.
Yep.
And I am going to, in a fit of frustration, pull out one of my stashed hand axes.
Okay.
And just let out like a final chuck to the air as a last attempt to, I don't know, hit something.
All right, go for it.
Something.
So you let out this battle cry. Go ahead, give us a shout or something. What do you say?
And
nice. And go ahead and throw it
loose.
Now, this is pretty long distance. What's that distance?
It has to be at least 60.
and then up. So it's just on the extreme edge of your long range. So it's going to be a disadvantage, but you can go ahead and throw it.
Okay, that was an 8.
And you are blessed.
Okay. So that will be a 19.
19. She is out in the open. That's going to hit her. Go ahead and roll your d6 damage plus your strength. Nice. Just out of the crowd's all like, yeah! And this hand axe.
Ooh, that's a 9.
Ooh!
Wow. What is up with the lucky rolls? Bad luck, good luck, wild rolling.
Wow. Okay, did not expect that. And she's holding this thing aloft, all cocky, and this hand axe right in the low back. And she starts to lose her balance. And let's see if she can manage to stay up. She was walking on this thing, all cocky. And you just hit her unexpectedly. I'm saying she's rolling this with disadvantage, which gets to 10. Which is what I will consider to be a fumble.
Oh.
So, couple things happen. So she's out here on the perch of this tree branch, just palling it up for the crowd, gets hit by the hand axe, loses her balance, and everyone, the whole place just like, as she's like, does one of the pinwheel things, and the tail starts going wild to try and keep her balance. And then she pitches forward, and she has to make a choice. Is she going to fall or drop the star? And she's gonna... She literally growls as she starts to tumble, and then lets go. And uses her both arms to grab the bottom of this branch and dangle from it. She just lets out this scream in frustration. And the star falls. Punk, punk. A little plinko in amongst the iron branches. Pink, 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 pink. And then the last clack as it hits the ground. And a little flash goes off, a little like spark, and everything shudders for a second. I'm gonna get everyone to do a wisdom saving throw, please.
Ooh, wisdom saving throw.
You are blessed, so you can add the blessed to this.
Ouch.
Does that include unconscious people?
I think you can roll it at disadvantage, sir.
$19.
All right.
That's a good. I rolled a 10
With the D4?
with the D4 included.
Okay. All right. So, Gordon, or rather, Rook, will resolve you in just a second. Gex, you are already like fading consciousness as you're starting to feel the wind in your whistle across your face, in your beard, and you see this spark of light as this thing hits the ground, and a little piece breaks off, just like, and it causes this weird pulse of light, and then darkness, and then light again. It's like this really intense strobe effect, and all you can kind of see there, Gex, is this flash of light that kind of half brings you to for a second, just long enough to realize what Garrick is doing, which we'll resolve in a second. Rook, you are at a distance, and so it takes you a second to see this pulse, as it echoes out from where it hit the ground, and you've seen this sort of thing once before. The sudden pulse, not as intense as what you saw before, but a small little area around that globe where it hit, which is probably about 10 feet away from just north of Garrick, where it impacted. And this 5-foot orb blooms out for a second and then fades. Almost like mist burning off. And all of your friends gasp in your head. And you're just like... and you hear the echoes of the last words of your best friend for a second. Ah, come on. It's all right. We're going to be fine. Ah! And then you hear this flash, this scream of another friend of yours. And after a few seconds, those echoes fade. And you're left kind of panting in the, like, almost hands and knees, even though you're a good, like, 50 feet away right now. Hilda, you see the pulse of light, and it goes off. And you're at such a distance, it doesn't really blind you, but after the initial flash, you expect your vision to come back, and for a second, all you see is swirling mists. And you're having trouble holding air in your lungs for a moment. I'm going to need you to do an acrobatics check for me. Oh, actually, a dexterity saving throw. Dexterity saving throw, Hilda.
Okay. Oh, jeez. 13?
That's enough. As you start to stumble backwards and across your hip, you feel the rope from the bridge. Even though you can't see, you're in this weird swirling mist, but you bump into that bridge and your hand grabs it and you're like, okay, I remember this. And it steadies you. So you do not fall backwards into the pit. Who else? Tillman with a 9. Did you roll a d4 as well?
I can't bless myself. It's 3 other creatures.
Okay. Tillman, you're on your back, and you hear these screams. You hear many voices cry out, and this swirling, echoing, terrible sucking sound for a second, and if you had hair, it would have been like drawn in the direction of the wind, sucking inwards towards where this chip happened. And you hear someone saying, "Oh, come on. It's not going to be that bad. We'll be... Oh, God!" A voice. And after a few seconds, you're just lost in this swirling mist. Good news is, you're kind of swimming on your back, on your shell. So you can't fall or harm yourself, but you are essentially immobilized for the next foreseeable few minutes, like a minute or two. Not sure which way is up or down. You just know that you're kind of trapped on your back. Like that turtle in the sun, trapped on the road. Someone flip him over, but no one comes.
Oh.
All right.
I'm not okay.
You're all snapped out of this a couple of heartbeats later, as Garrick, with the hook in his thigh, and he's dropped his longsword to grab the Goliath Gex by the arm, just starts spinning round and round, and you hear this growing roar as he yells, as he spins him, just and then shot puts him. But Garrick can't see either, so he's going to throw you in a random direction. Steve, do me a favor. I'm going to ask you to roll a d12, because, yeah, d12s are good for something. I'm just discovering this. I mean, besides damage.
4.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
4 o'clock on the clock. So, that's a 12 is straight up. 1, 2, 3 is sideways. 4, that's not that great.
Good.
Okay, so let's see
Yikes.
how far he manages to throw you. He's a very
Oh, shit.
strong half orc. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay, so you go
Oh.
20 feet. 5.
I weigh
10.
400 pounds if that makes a difference.
He's really strong and he swirled you. 15, 20. Oh my god. You hit the far side. He threw you over at the base of this tower, and you hit the tower, one of the tall pillars that illuminates the area. You hit it. You can't see it, but you hit it, and you slide down, and there's a tiny little lip at the base, and you slump against that, and like half of your body sloshes over the side and dangles, but you are not, against all odds, in the pit. You,
It's
sir,
just mostly dead.
are a mostly dead. Can I get you to do a death save, please? Because I believe in insult to injury.
What am I rolling here?
A D10, a D20, and you need to roll over a 10.
Oh, 11.
You have successfully
So-
saved one
so
death
close.
save.
Uh,
I'm actually gonna be mean and make you do another death save, because
Okay.
when he flung you, you took a little bit of damage, effectively fall damage, when you hit that tower.
hey, I got it. This one's 12.
A 12. Okay. So the first one was like, oh no, and you managed to stay alive, and you land on your head, and then your body kind of goes over, and your legs are dangling over the pit, and your upper body's just at the base of the pillar. But you are still alive, and you've done 2 death saves. You're all right. That's great. Okay.
I have to do one more, don't I? Or I need
Uh,
one more success to be not dead.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. That is
Top of the
There-
order.
top of the order. Gex.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry, Tillman. Tillman,
Oh, Tillman, sorry.
you're on your
Yeah,
back.
man.
On yourself.
I am.
Tillman. I am curious to know what's going through your mind as you see the swirling gray mists and you spin on your back.
I can't see shit. Except for the mist.
It's familiar. You've been on this bad trip before.
Okay. But, so I'm immobilized, or is it...
You're
So I can't
blinded,
move.
and you can move. You're gonna have to spend half your turn getting up, or half your speed getting up.
That's fine. I'll do that.
And you are blind, but you can kind of feel your way around. You feel the step where you had originally tripped. So you can kind of get the basic idea of like which direction is up and down, and which, where the island is.
Yeah. I'm not gonna risk that.
All right, man.
He's gonna... fuck, man. Well, he's blind, so he can't really do anything. So-
I'll tell you what. I would let you do a Constitution save to see if you can kind of clear your vision. Ooh. And you can add a D4 to that if you want to. But you did succeed. You're
Okay.
fine. So after a few
All right.
seconds, you kind of give your head a shake, rub your eyes, and your vision starts to clear enough that you can kind of see. I'm going to say that was your bonus action. So if you have an
Okay.
action you want to do, what do you can see
I
the
want
glowing
pass.
orb. Sorry?
Do I see the shadow of Garrick or behind it, or?
You see Garrick and the tree kind of as silhouettes, or in the glassly glow. But where you see this yellow thing that I'm drawing in right now, that is the glowing, although it's more white than yellow. You can see this glowing ball of light, and another smaller, littler chunk kind of glowing a little bit. Actually, not there. A smaller chunk has actually landed on the bridge, the little piece that broke off of it. And it's only 10 feet, 10, maybe 12 feet away on the bridge. It looks like it might fall any second as the bridge just kind of shifts a little. It's two wooden planks, two wooden beams with planks in between. Do you want to risk it? No one else seems to have seen this.
Fuck, man, he's always curious. I got 15 feet of movement left. So yeah, he's gonna go for it.
All right, I'm gonna ask you to do acrobatics or athletics.
Let's go with athletic.
I'll give you this. If you crawl, you'll have advantage.
All right, I'll do it. I'll crawl.
Like a turtle.
I get Tortle. Alright.
All right. So the
Okay.
15. The whole wooden platform like sways with your weight as you're climbing. You're just like, you go crawling out there. You have to reach your hand out at the very last second, really as far as you can reach out of your shell. And your hand just closes over this tiny glowing orb. It's actually just a sliver that is broken off. And you reach out. You palm it. And you can kind of contain its light within your fist. Doesn't seem like anybody's noticed that. You now have it in your possession. And you can mark it down on your sheet.
Glowing shard of star.
Yep. All right. Meanwhile, next up, top of the order, Gex. Death save, please, sir.
At the third death save?
It is. He's been successful so far.
That was a 2.
Mark down a failure.
That is a failure. I have failed.
You're still breathing, but you start to slip away. And your body, just for dramatic effects, shifts a little further into the pit. All right.
Thankfully, it
turn.
was not a 1.
Thankfully, it was not. Rook, what do you want to do?
Right.
Your vision has cleared.
I see the prize.
You
I
do.
see what's going on, and I am going to use my movement to leap across and then dash to the glowing
All
orb
right.
for the prize.
5,
I'll
10,
use an acrobatics
15.
check.
Acrobatics check, please.
Yeah, I mean, I can basically.
You can get
Well,
there
I'll
in
have to make-
just regular movement. You don't even. Are you
Yeah.
doing a bonus to dash? Or do you want to use your
Well,
movement?
my plan is to do a running leap, acrobatics flip on, scoop up the orb, and dash away from them.
Nice. All right. So make an
In a
acrobatics
dramatic way.
or
Yeah.
athletics check, please.
And I'm going to use the knowledge of a past life.
Nice.
Wow.
Just cuz.
You got this.
28.
You got this. It's yours. Go on. Stay confident. You just
I
need
rolled a
to
28.
believe.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
Oh,
believe?
yeah, I believe.
All right. So you got a 28. Damn. So here's what happens. Garrick, having just flung that guy off and just kind of rubbing at his eyes, trying to see, sees the brilliant light of this thing and smiles this toothy grin. Harnissa, dangling directly above him, calls down, "Get it, you fool!" And he goes stumbling forward, and he starts to reach out, and the crowd is losing their nugget as this is all happening. They're just like, on again, off again. It's too dramatic. They're all just like, And-
nice timing.
and he's just barely able to see. He's rubbing his eye. He reaches out to get this, and this little wisp shadow just anime style just leaps over this cliff and lands at this thing. Just boom, grabs it in a tuck and just keeps moving at top speed. It's just disappeared as the orc was reaching out to grab this thing, and just what the heck? and you just keep going. Where do you want to go? You've got your 30 bits of movement.
I'm basically, as I have it, just kind of like basically raising it, and I am using my bonus action and my action to dash.
Okay, where do you want to go? There's a bridge directly to your north. Tillman is busy crawling across. There's another one back the way you came, and
It's the back. Yeah, it's basically because
or you
if
can
I
go
have to
around
put
the
Tillman-
tree and try to get over this barrel and make a leap for the far side. You could try that if you want to be extra dramatic. Or you can go back around the tree. Where do you want to go?
I'm gonna go the safe route and go down the stairs. And
the south.
actually,
south
you know
end?
what? Yeah, you know what? I guess I could be extra dramatic. I still have the orb.
Or you could go. You can literally go over Tillman, just like
Yeah.
run over.
Oh,
him.
he's crawling.
He's crawling.
Okay, I was worried that like he was like standing up. So I'm just gonna go over Tillman. I'm just gonna go keep dashing forward, and I'm just gonna do a leap, like basically like
Just
acrobatics
on
my
his
way
shell.
all the way down and across.
use him for leverage. All right,
Exactly.
but not so fast, because you were within 5 feet of Garrick. Now he's partly blinded, so he's going to be at a minus to his attack. But as you
then
leave
can I
his
just
range,
disengage?
you've already spent your bonus.
Fair enough.
All right, so he is not at disadvantage because he's not fully blinded, but he's at a minus to his attack roll. Here we go. All right. That's okay. Does a 17 hit your AC? He rolled pretty good.
A 17 would hit my AC.
Oh,
My AC is
wait,
17.
hold on. Sorry. I misread and miscalculated in my head. Normally it'd be an 18 on his hit, but he's at a -2 for partly blinded. Does a 16 hit your AC?
No, my AC is 17.
Do me a favor. I need you to pick a color. Orange or green?
Orange. Why not?
Yeah, orange dice.
The numbers on the dice are a 9 and a 19. And the orange was the 19. He reaches out
Yeah,
with
it's
that Captain
orange
Hook
dice.
thing. Yeah. He reaches out with the Captain Hook thing just to try to get you in the shoulder, and it just misses your shoulder, and it catches your cape, your cloak, and it just, and it tugs for a second, and then tears. Your cloak is just flapping behind you, and you are not slowed down or stopped, and you take no damage. And you take your prize, and you just book it to the far side of that bridge, running the whole way.
Basically, yeah, doing a flying leap off of the shell and going, landing on the other side, like the prize in the air.
And you stop just short of another small pit that is just past. I don't know if anybody noticed that. You're like, whoa, and the spike's there. You catch it. You get the euphoria of the crowd. You're almost looking up and you see the spike at the last second and skid to a halt on the far side of the bridge. And you hold up the thing, and the crowd just goes crazy. And the horns go, and everybody's just losing. That's the only horn I have. And they just lose their freaking mind as you can now hear the announcer making the call.
In a stunning turn of events, I don't know, the last sub-team. What was their name
We're
again?
the strange acquaintances.
I can't hear you, I'm at the top. Yell it again. What is your
Strange.
name?
Strange.
Strange questions? He's getting you to yell it.
Okay.
What are you?
Strange acquaintances.
The strange acquaintances.
And you look at the crowd just losing their mind, and as you take it all in, you look back and you see murder in the eyes of Garrick, and then Hernessa just to the ground beside him lands, and she kind of puts her paw on his shoulder, and they both just look totally defeated as the crowd is just losing their mind. And you're quickly swept up. People come in from these hidden doors, 10 or 15 feet up, mounted in the sides, very well hidden. And you see a swarm of these various peoples come in. And everyone is super, super, like, efficient, as though this happens all the time. And they run in, and they start to scoop people up. And Gex, there is enough time. I need you to do another death save.
Death save.
Can I do a lay on hands?
Yeah.
Oh, will that help me somehow?
Well,
I think
let's
it's
say
stable.
in the speed of things, Hilda's walking forward, taking in all of this. She's like taking it in, just like, wow. And then you look over and you see Gex dangling on the edge. You're like, so you go rushing over. But in that time, I need you to do a death save. How'd it go?
13.
You pass. That's 3.
Yes.
So you're stable at 0.
Yeah.
And at that moment, Hilda comes walking over. Oh, I got the weird one on. Hold on. Hilda comes walking over and lays her hand on your face, right? That was the thing.
Yeah, face.
Just like, and your nose is just mashed to one side, and then pulse of healing energy flows into you, and you come back to consciousness with how many hit points?
It says
You can do up to 10,
restore,
I think.
You can restore a total number of hit points equal to your paladin level minus 5. Okay, so up to 10.
So,
10 points.
all right. So you come back with 10 points of hit are returned. 10 points of hit. I am now officially always wording it that way. All right, and then the attendants come and swoop you up, and you see somebody with this really long hook, and a couple of them trying to scoop out, and they manage to pull the human out, and they slap the bard until they come to, and they feed him a healing potion, and his loot is permanently damaged, but he'll survive. And Hernessa and Garrick just look so mad. Oh my god. And Hernessa kind of puts on, she kind of begrudgingly gives this little nod over to Rook, and then over comes Hilda, like holding up Gex as he's like stumbling and you're all ushered back into the back rooms behind the scenes, leaving the sound of the crowd behind you. And you can, sorry, go ahead, Tillman.
So before that, Tillman was just looking at Garrick and just goes, heart.
And
final insult.
Hernessa's nod, I'll nod back and I'll give her like a quick sign, like like good game.
And she signs back. It's literally sign language, GG.
Yeah.
All right. And that concludes the gauntlet, but not the story, as you're ushered back. Now, quickly, you see Turnbull, the kind of slightly rotund older man wearing blue robes that introduced you. He's the kind of the master of ceremonies. He's also in charge of all this, and he meets you after a time, and you get wine and food, and you get bandages, and people come and clean up your gear, and you're quickly given these nice fancy fluffy robes, terry cloth robes and these nice fuzzy slippers, and you're just pampered, and all the people are. Garrick and Hernessa and even the other two, and Turg is sitting there. He's still alive, but he is rough, and he has lost the eye. Klieg managed to get to him before he totally died, because he had dispatched the elven woman that he'd been battling, and came running up and licked the wounds of Turg, keeping him barely alive. But he's lost the eye, and it's about the same. He still looks really rough, even more than before. And yet, now, so there aren't any hard feelings. Turnbull, they'll be kept over there. Yeah, we like to keep people in separate rooms at the end in case there's any hard feelings. Congratulations. I must say, as the underdogs, the bets were very much against you. So whoever bet on you made a killing tonight. And I see a bright future for you strange acquaintances. Now, the prize money is yours. I will need the artifact back, though.
Okay, yeah, and I hand the artifact back, and I say,
we like
the cave must have been lucky.
That's right. Yeah. Well, thank you. And really, again, good job. He kind of pats you on the arm. You know, you could write your own ticket now that you've made a name for yourselves here. All the nobles who saw you were going to be considering you for any contracts. Of course, you're welcome to come back and compete anytime at the Gauntlet. But if you want to take them up on their offers, well, the way is open. There are certain other tasks that might be open before you. But tonight, we don't need to talk business. Instead, here, cheers to the strange acquaintances. May they be good friends. To your fortune. So you're left partying the night away. Healing is available for anybody who needs it. And after a very blurry drunk on, or anybody who chooses to partake, nobles come by. It's all a blur at this point. You meet noble after noble. You take part in any kind of revel you want, whether that's of wine or smoke or mushrooms off your shell or company and companionship. You get your pick for the evening. And you're celebrated in what you can only assume is an underground kind of inn of some kind, but you have no idea how you got there. It's just like, what? And after a while, the party starts to die down, and depending on whether you choose to go into the soft bedding of a beautiful catered room, or whether you just blackout drunk and you wake up in the bed the next day you feel revived, you feel stronger, more experienced, and you all level up to level 3.
All right. Yay.
What does that do?
Now, we're going to probably wrap it up there for the evening.
All right.
Thanks very much for playing, guys. That was fun.
Thanks.
Now, you can think about where you want to go next time. I meant it when I say you're going to have a bunch of job offers if you do so choose. And we can go into that later. I'm going to get one last roll of the night. Tillman, I'm going to ask you to roll either Arcana or Religion.
All right, give me 1 second here.
In the meantime, the rest of you, if you want to, either you guys live or the internet, if I can figure out how to make the chat go, I closed that for some reason. But anyway, yeah, that should not have closed. Sorry, folks. If you've been making suggestions, I've been missing them. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But
17.
we do need a name for tonight's episode. So if you want to go ahead and make a suggestion, anybody here? And also, what was that? 17?
Yep.
All right. So, you, sir, are no stranger to going on trips. Metaphorical, literal, chemical. And so, there's something strange. Which one did you roll, by the way? Religion or Arcana?
Religion.
Okay. You've gone on these trips and spoken to various entities, either actually on some kind of spirit journey, or perhaps just tripping balls. But along the way, you've had experience trying to make sense of the other world, things beyond the veil. And it's a little synesthesia when you encounter these things. Different senses triggering. Different colors, different smells. You'd have to say that this... In that moment, when the shard broke off, and you're inspecting it now in a quiet moment in the inn, it glows. Its jagged edge where it broke off. And it's got a smell. A spiritual kind of sense to it. This is a planar item. This has been in the presence of beings not of this world. And when it broke, and you saw those visions and you heard those voices, you know, deep in your shell, you know that you had heard the voices of the dead calling out.
Man, these voices again.
Not again.
They want this time.
Rook,
What?
you're a little further along the bar, having a drink, celebrating, and you're just quietly enjoying the scene. And your friends are there, and they're congratulating you. Cat's smiling, that winning smile, and you've got what's his name? Angel?
Angel, yeah.
Yeah. Angel's across from you. Kind of just a little down off to your right. And he smiles at you and says, "You did good in there. Couldn't have done better myself, kid. Nice work. Keep your wits about you and you'll do all right." And then Tillman says, what did you say again just a moment ago? These
Like,
voices.
what do the voices want this time?
And Angel turns to him and says, "I want what I can't have. I want what I can't have." Just like old times. And Tillman and Rook can both see and hear him.
Whoa. As I just look at them like, whoa.
And you both look at each other and see each other looking at him. And you both look back to where he was, kind of between you, and he's gone. Just as he often comes and goes.
Saw
And
my
that
friend?
Oh, go ahead.
I just ask, you saw my friend?
Yes.
At least now I know I'm not crazy.
Hey man, don't discount it too fast. I don't know what's happening.
and scene. That's going to be our show tonight. Bull bam. All right. Anybody have a name for tonight's episode? By the way, lovely. Love it. That was fun.
A fumble and a win? I don't know.
Fumble and
That's
a win?
nice one.
That is pretty good.
Fumble and the win. Yeah.
And I like the fact that you all had your moment. Like that hand axe. Dude, I did not expect that to land. Clutch. And the leap and snatch, like legit anime moments. Just that was fun. And you got your little shard that you get to keep. That's cool. And Gex, you got flung 20 feet. That's a new life experience.
The airborne Goliath.
The 400
I guess like we each
pounds.
get 250, I guess, if we split evenly.
Yep. And you've got the little shard of the artifact that normally you wouldn't get to keep. So nice job there. All right, so I think, what was the name again, Gordon? One more time.
A fumble and a win.
A fumble and a win. And with that, we're gonna wrap it up. All right, thanks for playing, everybody. And we are exactly midnight. That never happens. Wow, I'm shocked. All right, well, thanks very much, everybody, and thanks again, Internet, for joining us. I'm just gonna sign us off. Don't forget to stick around for the credits for the Creative Commons music that have been scrolling by. Got to give credit where credit is due. And don't forget, you can always catch up on our previous games. This has been episode 3 of Fumble and a Win. And join us next week if you get the chance. Check it out online as well. And we'd love for you to join us live. All right, take care. Take care, be safe, and we'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.